Imagine saving up £15,000 for your dream Rolex. You walk into an official Rolex boutique. You tell the salesperson exactly which watch you want. They smile and then tell you it's not available. Not next week, not next month, maybe not even next year. Now, here's the crazy part. If Rolex knows thousands of people are desperate to buy its watches, why doesn't it simply make more? After all, more watches should mean more money, right? Well, not exactly, because Rolex built one of the greatest business models in history by doing the exact opposite of what almost every other company tries to do. Today, we're breaking down how Rolex created artificial scarcity, turned watches into investments, and built a business worth billions of pounds. Rolex wasn't the first watch company. It wasn't even the first luxury watch company. Rolex was founded in 1905 by Haynes Wilsdorf in London before moving its headquarters to Geneva, Switzerland. Back then, wristwatches weren't taken seriously. Most wealthy people carried pocket watches. Hans believed the future was different. He wanted to create wristwatches that were both elegant and incredibly accurate. Rolex soon became known for innovation. It created the first waterproof wristwatch, the Rolex Oyster. Then it developed self-winding movements and slowly built a reputation for precision. But here's what really made Rolex special. It wasn't just selling watches, it was selling trust. Every watch represented quality, reliability, and success. Over the next century, Rolex became one of the most respected brands in the world. Today, people don't buy a Rolex because they need to know the time. Their phone already does that. They buy it because of what it says about them. Now here's where things get interesting. Imagine you own Rolex. Every watch you make sells instantly. Logic says, build another factory, double production, make twice as much money. Most companies would. Rolex doesn't. Instead, Rolex carefully controls how many watches reach each authorized dealer. That means demand is almost always greater than supply. Economists call this scarcity. When something becomes difficult to obtain, people automatically value it more. Think about limited edition trainers, luxury handbags, or supercars. The harder something is to buy, the more people want it. Rolex understands human psychology better than almost anyone. Scarcity doesn't reduce demand, it increases it. If you've ever tried buying a Rolex, you already know the frustration. Walk into a Rolex boutique asking for a Daytona, a GMT Master II, or even certain submariners, and there's a good chance they'll tell you there's a waiting list. Some customers wait months, others wait years. Some never receive the call. Why? Because official dealers receive limited stock. They also prefer selling highly sought-after watches to long-term customers. Someone who has previously purchased jewelry or other watches is often more likely to be offered one. This makes owning a Rolex feel even more exclusive, and exclusivity is exactly what luxury brands sell. The waiting list isn't just an inconvenience, it's part of the experience. Because when something is hard to get, it becomes even more desirable. Now let's talk about something Rolex never officially controls: the gray market. Imagine Rolex sells a watch for £12,000. Someone buys it. Instead of wearing it, they immediately sell it online. But not for £12,000, maybe £18,000 or £22,000, sometimes even more. People happily pay those prices because they don't want to wait years. Think about that. Imagine buying a brand new car. The moment you drive it away, it loses value. Rolex often does the opposite. Certain models become more valuable the moment you leave the shop. Very few consumer products behave like that. That's exactly why collectors love Rolex. It's not just a watch. It's often seen as an asset. So, how much money does Rolex actually make? Rolex produces roughly 1 million watches every year. That sounds like a huge number until you realize millions more people want one. Most Rolex watches sell for several £1,000s. Some precious metal models cost tens of thousands. Multiply that across around 1 million watches, and you're looking at annual revenue measured in billions of pounds. Here's another surprising fact. Unlike companies like Apple or Nike, Rolex isn't listed on the stock market. It's owned by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, a charitable foundation established after the founder's death. That means Rolex doesn't have shareholders demanding bigger profits every quarter. Instead, it can focus on long-term quality, research, manufacturing, and protecting its reputation. That freedom has helped Rolex stay consistent for decades. Have you ever seen an official Rolex sale? Probably not. Luxury brands know discounts damage prestige. If everyone could suddenly buy a Rolex for half price, it wouldn't feel special anymore. That's why authorized dealers almost never reduce prices. Instead, Rolex protects its image. It keeps production controlled, maintains quality, and lets demand stay incredibly high. People aren't chasing discounts, they're chasing the chance to own one. Here's the biggest lesson from Rolex. They're not selling steel, they're not selling gold, they're not even selling watches, they're selling achievement, success, status, exclusivity. A Rolex tells the world something about its owner, whether that's true or not. People believe it. And in business, perception is often just as valuable as reality. That's why someone is willing to spend £15,000 on a watch, even though a £50 watch tells the exact same time. Rolex became one of the biggest luxury companies in the world by understanding something most businesses never do. People don't always want what's available, they want what they can't have. Scarcity created demand. Demand created prestige. Prestige created billion-pound revenues. So the next time you hear someone say Rolex is sold out, remember, it's not because they can't make more watches. It's because keeping them rare is one of the smartest business decisions ever made. If you enjoyed learning how Rolex built a billion-pound empire, make sure to subscribe, because every Monday to Thursday we break down the business strategies behind the world's biggest companies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.